Hi guys, Josh back again, and I'm really excited for tonight's review because I'm reviewing parts 1 and 2 of the series premiere of Heroes Reborn titled Brave New World and Odessa. If you haven't seen the series premiere of Heroes Reborn and you want to avoid spoilers, you're going to want to skip this video and come back after you've seen it because everything I say from this point forward is going to be a spoiler. Okay, right off, I really enjoyed the episode. I was on the fence about one part, but then I kind of came around and it actually became my favorite character. And I'll go ahead and talk about that first. The part where Miko gets transported into the video game, and I'm like, oh. As I thought it was going to be really cheesy, but then they owned the cheese, and it totally worked for me. I loved that part. The part when the guy, I did not catch the guy's name. What is it? Let me know in the comments, because his character wasn't listed on the list of characters on the website. But when he jumped into the game and he was like, Leroy Jenkins, I was like, okay, I'm on board, you got me. And that pair actually became my two favorite new characters for the series. And part of the reason is this. One of the things that I really enjoyed about this episode was the parallels between the original series. Like Miko and the guy, they're totally Hero and Ando. That's absolutely their counterparts. And then there's Tommy, who would be the counterpart to Claire. And then there's Jose, would be the parallel to Mika, the little boy from the first series. So I love that there's all these parallels that are going from Heroes to Heroes Reborn. I think that was really cool. And of course Noah Bennett is back, and I'm excited to see what he does because he was one of my favorite characters from the original series. Hero was my absolute favorite character, and the fact that he wasn't in this episode was really disappointing to me. But it does look like he's going to be in it next week, so I'm excited for that. And Noah has a really interesting story. He was present for the bombing of Primatech, which was pinned on Mohinder, who was also not in the series premiere, mentioned many times, but not actually in it, which I'm fine with because he was never really one of my favorite characters. But he got the bombing got pinned on him, and basically every anti-human or basically any kind of terrorist attack is being pinned on Mohinder, and they basically tell you that he's being framed. But Noah intentionally had his memory wiped by the Haitian because something's going down that he does not want to remember. And it might have something to do with Claire, maybe, I'm not sure. I don't think Hayden Panettiere was ever signed on to do this series, so Claire, it might come out that she's dead, or maybe she's in hiding or something and she just never comes back. Noah kind of inadvertently tracks down the Haitian, and he had given him orders that, hey, if I ever come back, you need to kill me because I cannot remember these things. And they wrestle over the gun, and the Haitian gets shot and killed, which was a big surprise to me because although he wasn't in every single episode of the original series, he was an important part of it. So the fact that they killed him off in the very first episode of the reboot was a pretty big shock to me. And then there's Tommy. I don't know how I feel about Tommy yet because his story, his arc so far seems very stereotypical superhero origin story to me. Very similar to Spider-Man actually, with having kind of a crush on the bully's girlfriend. It just feels like I've seen this story before, so I'm not really sure what to make of Tommy yet. Although the actor who plays Tommy actually played Peter Pan in Once Upon a Time, and he did a really good job. So I do have some confidence that at least the performance will be there. I'm just not sure the story's going to be there. I also want to talk about Luke and Joanna. Luke and Joanna's story is actually really interesting, even though they're basically the villains as of right now in the show. I think Luke is probably going to come around though, because it seems like he's not completely on board with what they're doing anymore, and Joanna is totally trigger happy and murder happy and bloodlusty. And I think at some point Luke is not going to be okay with that anymore, and he's going to switch sides. And I'm just really interested to see how their story goes because already in the series premiere it kind of they're bickering and they're arguing all the time, so they're already not getting along. So when something goes down that Luke is not happy with, killing a child or something, because Joanna was totally ready to gun down Tommy and Emily doesn't even have powers. And Tommy teleported them back to his old cell at Primatech, which Tommy's power is actually really cool. He can teleport something by just touching it. And at first he's not really sure where it goes. He's like, as far as I know, it just doesn't exist anymore. But then he finds out it just goes to wherever he's thinking about. So he can send something literally anywhere he can think of. He can teleport somebody to the moon. And I hope they explore his power and his character more, because it seems like he's going to be the central character to the show, the same way Claire was for the first season of the original Heroes series. One other thing I really liked about this episode is Canada is like a safe zone for the Evos, the evolutionary humans, and they're doing cheek swabs at the border to make sure no Evos get out of the U.S. So basically, so there's like an underground railroad for Evos to get from the U.S. to Canada. And I thought that was a really neat idea. This idea that the Evos are being persecuted and hunted and murdered by not only citizens, but, you know, shadow cells of the government. And they're now sneaking across the border through an underground railroad. I thought that was awesome. And then there's the Vigilante, and I'm excited to see more about him. Of course, that was originally Oscar, but Oscar died, and now Carlos is going to take over for him. And I'm really excited to see how that goes, because I don't know if Carlos, it doesn't seem like, first of all, it doesn't seem like Oscar had powers, and I'm not sure if Carlos does. It does seem like he has a secret, though. So I'm really interested to see what happens with that character, because he's, you know, kind of built up as a war hero, but the way he acts, it seems like maybe that whatever he did to, you know, earn all that recognition, maybe he didn't really do it, or maybe it didn't really happen the way it's being told, or something like that, because he doesn't really seem like he's entirely happy about the recognition. He's taking it, and he's taking advantage of it, but he doesn't seem that happy about it. And of course the episode concludes with Noah's car being stolen by Luke and Joanna, and they have all those files in the back of all the Evos. So they got the two people, the two worst possible people to have that information, and now they have it. But what's going to happen when Luke decides he's just not down for this anymore? Okay, I know I didn't touch on everything. If there's something that you think I should have touched on, let me know in the comments and we can discuss it down there. And also, if you had a superpower, what would your superpower be? I think I would go with flying. I want to fly. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, and I hope you did, be sure to click that like button, subscribe for more reviews. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.